Hi, Soul Peeps. Welcome everyone to Soul Sisters Sunday. Azria joins Lady D. It is energetic update today. How are you, Azria?
Yeah, all good and the better for seeing you, lovely. I've looked forward to these Sundays very much. And I just, well, I said, I know we were speaking earlier and how much what is going on with the energies. So it'd be great to carry on the conversation and to share it with your wonderful viewers. So yes, loving these Sundays. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And we changed portals. I switched you. You're the left now. It's just because I'm more to the right, because what happens is that the comments come up, because we're going to put this out as a live, and I'm leaving some space, so when the comments come up, they're not on my face or on your face. Because because I have it so that the comments come up on the lower right hand portion of the screen, and sometimes I forget and I'll be watching and all of a sudden there'll be like comments on people's faces. So it's like, no, I'll do it. I won't do it to my guest. And there's some space here so the comments can come up. So people don't see, comments through my face or my guest's face. That's not polite. That's not very polite. So anyway, yes, if people were looking for a show last night, I didn't do one. I didn't announce it. Sorry, I'm tired. I'm exhausted. I was not into the 3D ridiculous clown circus. I'm just so over the fucking politics right now, and I'm just exhausted. So I didn't do a show last night. It is Thanksgiving weekend in the United States, and I did go on Thanksgiving Eve. I did Friday night. I did a 2.5 hour show. I always tell you guys, if I'm not up for it, I'm never going to fake it and do a show when I'm not into it, or I don't have the energy, because it's not good for you and me. I'm not going to give you a half-ass show. So I didn't go on. I took the night off. So that's that. You have to, I always tell you to honor yourself and your energy. So I took my own advice.
Wonderful.
So if anyone wants to get in touch with Azria, her website and all of her social media links will be in the description of this video underneath. Why that stupid messages are coming up. Anyway, sorry about that. If you heard that, I have a website up and went beep, beep, beep. Anyway, we're recording this. It is about almost 1 o'clock on Sunday, November 30th. It's a little bit before 1 p.m. here, Eastern Standard Time. Azria's in England and the UK over there. So it's about 10 of 6. We are recording this, and then we're going to put this out as a live. Sorry, I'm going to have to get rid of this because I have one of my live shows up and there's some kind of notification that's making a noise. Anyway, I took care of it. So Azria and I are going to be in the chat. So I'm going to release this on my channel as a live show, 5 p.m. my time, which will be 10 p.m. over there in the UK, because we're 5 hours. You're 5 hours ahead of me, and I'm on the East Coast of the United States, south of Boston. So we'll release this as a live, but it is a video, and Azria and I will be lurking in the chat as we usually do. All right. One quick announcement, folks. If you want to take part in the special SYRONA Black Friday deal, as well as my Black Friday deal that I'm having 20% off my 30-minute readings, my 1 hour soul therapy, spiritual counseling sessions, if I can talk, and my 1 hour readings, you cannot use my video. You can't use my website. Those special Black Friday deals are on my Buy Me a Coffee page, and you have to use the special link. So my Friday night live, psychic live that I did, go in the description of that show. And also what I'm going to do now, since I'm taping it, I'll put the special links for my Black Friday sale, as well as the special Black Friday links for all the SYRONA products in the description of this video. So you have to use the special links. They're not on my website. Paula texted me right before I came on here, and she said that some people, I think that some people were going to the website and they weren't getting the 20% discount, you have to use the special link. So I'll put them in the description of the show and my SYRONA website. And when you get, if you want to do the special Black Friday deals with the SYRONA, you have to put the special discount codes, which will be in the description of the show, in the checkout. You have to use that in the checkout. And all that is in the description of the show. And the SYRONA website, the Black Friday SYRONA deals, as well as the Black Friday My Deals, end tomorrow, December 1st. I cannot believe it's December 1st, Azria. Cannot believe it. I'm just, anyway.
Oh, we need to get out of November. This energy is just getting heavier and heavier. So roll on tomorrow.
All right. Yes. Now that I've done selling my wares and everything, let's talk about the energy, the energetic updates. Azra and I had a conversation because it started on Thanksgiving. So I'm gonna just let you take it away, Azria. What the fuck happened on Thanksgiving? Because I have to tell you, the day before Thanksgiving, 2 days before Thanksgiving, even Thanksgiving morning, I was like, thank you. I was thanking God and universe for my blessings. I was grateful. I was feeling good. You know, my life hasn't been picture perfect the last year, but I've been content. I've been happy. I haven't been focusing on my problems. I've just been taking each day at a time. And I was really, it was like, and I was thankful and happy and showing gratitude and thankfulness and being grateful. And then that Thanksgiving Eve, I came home to an empty house and I was just like, it was like a truck hit me. All of a sudden, I felt depressed and alone and I cried. So what was that?
I tell you what, I even felt it here in the UK. I tell you that for certain. I mean, literally, I know, as I said, we're 5 hours in front, but I think it was probably around 1-2 o'clock in the afternoon. I was just like you, going about my day, and then it was within seconds. I kind of sat down and just come over, so tired. I mean, it was like you know when you have like a cold or the flu or something, and everything aches. And yeah, so I finished off doing what I was doing, and then I think I was in bed nearly asleep at like 7. And I think very, very much there was so much going on. And even if you look at what was going on globally as well, because obviously we are in that festive period. So there is certain energies that do build up, whether it's joy, whether, as you said, there are some people that are the opposite end of the scale as well. But really, I think and really do believe that it was, how can I put this, more of a clearing, because if we think we do have a super moon on the 4th of December, so we're only really a couple of days away. So we've got kind of like the Thanksgiving energy, and then literally a couple of days later, so that cycle has already started. So this super moon is when obviously the moon is closer to the earth, and it's, again, not something I know too much about, but I will mention that it's in Gemini because that might mean some more to the listeners as well. So, and with that, it does bring an increasing sense of clarity. So like you were saying, Dee, around kind of that whole, dare I say, feeling shit, because trust me, when I was that tired, I was really not feeling great either. So it was taking out the trash. As you said, you're kind of going along nicely, and then all of a sudden, and it was kind of like those last, and I think within the next month, it's the last clearing over the next few weeks, because as we move into December, we've got a new moon on the 20th. We've got the 21st, which is the winter solstice. I have heard through many other people that on the 19th, 3-Eye Atlas, which we've mentioned in previous shows, and that as well is going to be quite close to this Earth as well. So again, we've got that build up. But the one other thing I'd like to say is that sometimes when we do kind of like feel this overwhelm, because as sensitives, as holistics, as psychics, it's sometimes about the collective, because remember, we are moving consciousness. We are increasing in that. We are, as Dee was very much said there, around the 3D going into the 5D, and I'm sure we'll cover more of this off in a second. But one of the things that we did speak about earlier, which was a kind of realization for both, is that we're very much tuned into what is also going on around us. So what that tired feeling, that drained feeling that you were feeling, it's not necessarily us directly, it's what's happening around. So one thing I welcome you to do is, when you do kind of feel those heavier energies, or heavy or even change in energy, just go back in and ask yourself, is this mine? Ask yourself, is this mine? Because again, if you look around that time, and I know we'll probably go into it a bit more. Are you okay, Dee?
Yeah, sorry. Did you hear something? This stupid alarm just keeps on coming up. It was like a website. Sorry, go ahead. I didn't mean
No,
to
no, you're good. You're good. So, but I know we're going to come up to it as well, but there was a 6.3 earthquake in, I think it was like Indonesia, and another 6.0 in Alaska. So again, even Gaia is having that reaction. Especially like in Africa, and that it's kind of like the womb of the world, and it was like 9 feet in the air. Now we can go into all that, how the significance, but it is just really expanding on that, what is going on in the world around us, that I just wanted to pick up. I mean, what do you think, Dee?
Yeah, as when we were talking, the way ASRIA and I do this on Sundays is I call her when I get up, because she's 5 hours ahead of me and I get up early. So I have my coffee with her and we discuss whether or not we want to do a show, because we always say energetically we want to be on our best, and we never want to do a show just because it's expected, because we never want to do a half-ass show. And so this morning, when I was telling you how I felt and why I didn't do a show last night, and as you were speaking about just now, the exhaustion and the feeling of just being so tired, fatigued, and that achy, like getting up feeling as if you ran 10 marathons, and I didn't run one marathon, let alone 9 more. And the exhaustion, and just that feeling, as you said, what's happening, it makes a lot of sense. And what you said is monumental. And we were talking about this on the phone earlier, that we forget sometimes to go back to the basics. And what you reminded me in your guides, and you reminded me earlier, is that what I was picking up on was not necessarily mine. It was the collective. And we forget how sensitive we are, especially now, that you have to. And this is a good reminder, sometimes we have to go back to the basics. We learn things so long ago that we forget it. It's just in and out, in one ear and out the other. And then we forget that we have to go back to the fundamentals. I was internalizing everything, but I when I was feeling off on Thanksgiving, and we talked about this, I said to myself, I sat there and I meditated, and I said, okay, is this a psychic attack? And we both got, it's not a demonic attack or anything like that. And then we asked, is this ours? But we didn't necessarily get that either. And you reminded me, and when you got earlier when on the phone, that it wasn't mine. I'm picking up the collective. That resonated. And and then there was like that light bulb moment, like, wow, I totally forgot. It isn't mine. It is a collective. And I think we all forget, and we need to be reminded how sensitive we really are, and how a lot of the things that we're feeling are the energies that we're picking up on, especially the negative, and not necessarily ours. Or it's the collective energy, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And it was much of a reminder. So yeah, thank you to the scholars and my guides in regards to bringing that through for both of us, and obviously to be able to share it here as well, because you know what, as much as I said, we're all going through our own journeys as well. Sometimes, you know what, we are human at the end of the day, and we do sometimes forget these things because we get so roiled in, as Dee was saying, kind of like the day-to-day, especially if you've got families to look after or businesses to run. And then that's why I always say, be aware of what is happening in the world around you, because you know what, if there's 2 volcanoes going off, you've got geometric storms going on, you've got other let's say comets that are coming into our solar system. So all of this is also going to have an effect. So I absolutely agree with that. And the one thing as well that I would also add, because well, as a human or as somebody who is slightly neurospicy as well, is sometimes when you get tired, your head can kind of go on this whole big loop of it's kind of like it's picked up one little token and it's going to keep that and it's going to run with it. Now, I've learned over the years, and especially over the past few months, how to kind of bypass that a little bit. But again, this is why we kind of have a check-in with ourselves to go, is this mine or is this not? Because sometimes when we're tired as well, our subconscious goes on kind of like this whole whirlwind of the who's, the where's, the why's. Why is this happening? Who's doing this? And one of the things I strongly believe, and this was part of my guides, was that your brain is there to protect you. Your conscious is there to protect you. So if you then, again, this is just a tip from me and the way I kind of get around it, and I'm simplifying it down to the nth degree, otherwise we'll be here for hours. Because I can go off on tangents. But one thing as we were talking about earlier is you can just tell, it can sound really simple, but I'm going to say anyway, you could just tell your brain to shut the fuck up. And the way in which I do that, not just shut the fuck up, but you say to it, I'm safe. I have a roof over my head. I have food in the fridge. I have money in the bank. I've got love around me. So you know what, brain? I'm okay. Because sometimes, as Dee said, just come back to the basics. I mean, I am simplifying this, and I know I very much am simplifying this, but your brain is doing its job. And as I said, for some people who are a little bit neurospicy, sometimes, as I said, that kind of, as soon as you get on that, treadmill or rat run or whatever it is I'm trying to do there, but it can just again start spiraling, because as I said, your energy's low, so your brain's going, oh, I need to go into survival mode, and that's okay. So you can actually tell your brain, thank you so much for doing all this great work and for protecting me, but actually I'm okay. What do you think, Dee? Tell the brain to
I love it. First of all, sometimes. I love telling the brain to shut the fuck up. That's right up my alley. That's such a Lady D thing. I love it. I love that. Telling the brain, the ego, more specifically, because right now there's a power struggle between the higher self and the ego. And like you said, the ego is serving its purpose. It has served its purpose, and it's trying to keep us safe. And the ego's job is anything that's not status quo, that's different or out of the ordinary. It's like giving you whoop, 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 alert, 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 out of the ordinary. So it's gonna try to protect you, and it's going to alert you and say, okay, red flag, something's different, something's off, something's not right. And up until this day and age, during our ascension and our upgrades, it's done its job, and we love our ego, and we still love our ego, because if somebody's chasing us, or if we have to defend ourselves, we still we love our ego. It serves us, and it will do its job. However, I love the way you say it, shut the fuck up, because right now the ego is not serving us. There's a tug of war between the ego and the higher self, and there's this power struggle. And right now the ego does need to shut the fuck up, because the ego is the one that's saying you're not good enough, you need to do this, you need to worry, you need to blah 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 blah. It's the old nagging aunt that just go, will you shut the fuck up, Auntie Betty, or whatever. It's like you're just a nag, always complaining, never happy, right?
Yep. Pretty much. Could complain about everything. If you say the sky was blue, they would say it was green.
Always find something wrong. Something to complain about.
Pretty much.
And I love the way you said neuro spicy instead of neurodivergent. I love that because I am that too. Neuro spicy. I love that.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah, I love it too, because you know what? Whether you're a mix of like, I don't know, autistic, 88, what, it does not matter. You see the world in a different way. You sense the world in a different way. And certainly with the new moon and full moons coming up as well, the psychic sensitivity goes up. It goes up as well. So that sensitivity at the moment, as we come up to the 4th, I mean, we're on the 30th today, so it's the 1st tomorrow. So that 3-4 day cycle has already begun.
Yeah. And we're all a little neurodivergent, a little neurospicy. We all have our issues. And so, yeah. No, and in the energies are really intense right now. Now, speaking, before we get into the let's say the global and the I'm used to saying geopolitical, but we're not doing geopolitical. You know, what's going on globally with Mother Gaia, I should say. You know, I'm trying to bring up, I don't know why this isn't coming up. I wanted to bring up what's going on with the flights, okay? And this is directly linked to the energies that's been happening, okay? So I'm going to bring this up, and then we can talk about what's going on with all the energies. Mother Gaia is upgrading the Schumann resonance. Last week, it literally stopped. Our time stopped, literally. And we have galactic beings that are helping us upgrade our timeline and helped us jump to a higher timeline. And what's happening now is because of the solar flares, and the technical term for them are corona mass emissions or coronal mass ejections. There's all kinds of issues with our flights. And here we go. This has been all over the news for the last few days. Airlines work to fix software glitch on A320 aircraft, and some flights are disrupted. Some flights, it's more like 4,000. I guess this is a few days ago, but during Thanksgiving, there were tons of disruptions in the US. And now I'm going to switch. Oh, it's the same. I have to stop sharing and share again. So it won't let me bounce from back and forth, back to a different screen. Now, specifically in Australia, they're having issues. This is the Daily Mail, and it says airport chaos as Australia-wide outage triggers major delays for travelers, and says nationwide travel delay due to Massport system outages and Melbourne and Sydney airports. And this was yesterday. So, Azria, why do you think there's all these issues? Do you think it's due to the global energies and the solar flares, the CMEs? What are you getting? What are your guides telling you?
Completely. I mean, you've got a load of the, and I did just jot this down because I was going to miss it as well, but the geomagnetic storms. So if any of you guys are kind of watching those as well, it's really disrupted the electromagnetic frequencies and the different plates we have around those. And it's the Boeing planes. So again, some of the larger ones that, as you said, it is global. So what they want to do, apparently, again, please don't quote me on this, is it's bringing all the technology back in and back into alignment. Again, I'm no technical buff, but as you can probably tell. In order so that the planes will be able to run safely. So you're not going to get one plane bumping into another. Because remember, they are in the skies. They are sort of closer to it, if you like. So if you're not getting a signal from one plane to another. And so, yeah, I really do think that it's the geostorm. Because remember, what is happening up there and what is happening down here? You've got the energy going up and you've got energy coming down. And guess what's in the middle? Planes as well. And have you just had this through. Anyone notice changes with the birds as well? I'm not going to go down that, but just have a look as well how high they're starting to fly. I'll just leave that question with you because it just comes through.
Okay.
Look at the next time how high and how low they're starting to fly, because that will also give a really good indication. But no, that's my thoughts on that, Dee, around and I think we're going to have more of that as well, especially around where there's more of these comets, or oh god, they call them something else now, because I think they're really looking at what a comet is actually being described as. Because you got the 3i Atlas, then you've got the 6 that have appeared around it, which is a whole other conversation. But then there's this other larger one, and it's called a U27 something. I've probably got that a little bit wrong, so apologies. So as soon as that was coming in, again, it was all around the same sort of time.
Yeah, I think they call it. Do you mean interstellar objects, something like that?
Yeah, that's I think, yeah, interstellar objects or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
because comets didn't quite cover it, funnily enough.
Because they're not comets. We know what they are. They're not comets. Exactly. But they're calling that and now they're calling them interstellar objects going from star to star, but because they don't know what to make of them and people can see them. Yeah, it makes sense because the earth, it's also like magnetic, and of course it's going to, with the electromagnetic field, it's going to affect electronics, right?
Definitely.
Yeah. So I think that it's getting wild, and it's going to get wild because everyone's talking about this 3i Atlas and how it's going to be closest to the earth on, I think it's December 19th, and you're December 19th. That's when it's going to get the closest. And that's probably going to throw off everything as well. I mean, and we're not doing fear porn here, and we're not trying to scare everybody, but you have to put everything into perspective. It is what it is. When we have these objects and different things in our solar system in Earth, it's going to affect the magnetic poles in the pole and our electronics. It is what it is, right, Azria?
Yeah, absolutely. But I think it's also about the awareness, because sometimes, yes, I mean the media and everything are going, oh, look at what's happening over here, i.e. this interstellar object. But then at the same time, as you said, you've got these things that with the planes, there was another IT outage somewhere else. I can't remember exactly where. But then if you have a look at the Schumann resonance, that had a huge spike at about the same time. Then you've got these earthquakes going on. And then again, as I said, you've got the various supermoons coming up. You've got the new moons coming up. But one of the things I'd like to add to that as well is within December, we're coming to the end of a 9-year cycle. So as you come to the end of a cycle, guess what? You've got a bit of clearing out to do before you move on to the next one.
Big purge.
So there is a lot of, with this clearing out, kind of like sadness as well as a collective. So I think moving, and the moons will kind of bring that in as well. So as much as it affects the magnetic field, so I'm just listening in for what they're saying, is that you've also got the people who are responsible for all these things as well are also going through their own changes and things like that. So again, when you start pulling that bigger picture together of what's going on, it's not surprising that, say, myself and Dee have very similar experiences over Thanksgiving with that heaviness and that sort of feeling tired. But then, yeah, when you actually think, oh, well, yeah, we're psychic, we're sensitives and things like that. So, yeah, it's not surprising that with the amount that's happening, that it'll actually affect you as well. So I think it's also a good idea to just keep an eye out what is then coming up, and either resting at the right times, whatever that is for you, or maybe protecting yourself at the right times, thinking, yeah, okay, I'm going to be a little bit more open, and so on. Hope that helps.
It does. Well, it appears that there's a big purge going on. And then when we were talking about this earlier, it's like, how much more can I purge? I've been purging for years now. It's like there's nothing left to purge. It's like, how much more? Ugh. But it's like we're coming to the final, and another thing too, this purge is not necessarily our purge. We've already done our purging. We could just be feeling the collective purge, and everything's coming to a head, like that big boil, that big pussy head of a boil. Ew, it's gross, and it needs to be extracted. And when it does, it's ugly, gross, nasty, smelly, and the infection. But it has to come to a head, and you can't bring certain energies and people, places, and things to you. It's okay, here we go. We are on this boat. All right. And we're in this limbo now, right? Let's just say we'll equate it to we're on a sailboat. We have the anchor down, okay? And the anchor represents all the people, the places, the things that are weighing us down, the things that we are not willing to let go of, or we don't know how to let go of, or the low vibrational people and things that we can't let go of, like our family, our kids, our jobs, whatever the case may be. We're coming to a point in December when we're going to have to pull up the anchor and let it rip, and just go down and let the sail go. Put out your sail, let the wind blow, and we're going to have to go with the current, go with the riptide, because otherwise you're going to capsize and drown. Okay, we have to. You can't. And this is, listen, I'm not perfect. There were many things that happened this year that would have been a lot more gentle if I would have ended my marriage a long time ago and ended relationships and situations a long time ago, but I didn't. And when you don't do your work, even though God and Yahshua tell you to let go of these people, you get the tower moment. It's never pretty. But it's going to get to a point in December where if you don't let go of things and people and places, it's going to be done for you, right? And we don't know where we're going. And as people, our ego, when we're talking about, our ego likes to plan, likes to know, and doesn't like the unknown. And it's scary to the ego when you kind of drift into the unknown. But the bottom line is we have to drift into the unknown. We have to just go with the flow. And if we don't, just like, and I'll use the equate of the ocean again, because I grew up on the ocean. If you're in a riptide, you have to, if you don't, and you're drowning, right? You have to stop swimming and let the current take you out. And then, because otherwise you'll tire and drown. And then when you get to a certain point, the riptide, you let the riptide take you, and then it will let go of you, and then you swim parallel, and then you swim back to shore. Well, that's how the energies are. If you fight against it, you're going to tire out and drown, and then you're not going to get anywhere. What say you, Azria?
I think that's a brilliant analogy. And I think there are so many people that will relate to that. And also there was another thing that you said earlier about the sea. Was it the something about good sailors, calm seas, or do you remember
calm seas make poor sailors. In other words, you need the rough seas to give you your muscles to make you good.
I think this year for many people, myself included, and like you were saying, this year has been friggin' rough in many different ways, whether it be all areas of life, whether it be some areas of life. And I think that actually going into the new year, going past this kind of like the solstice on the 21st, because I mean, again, I know, sorry, I'm repeating myself a little bit here, but I think it's really important around those few days, the 19th, 20th, 21st. I know we're probably going to be doing shows in that before then, but it's kind of getting you ready for that time, because even dialing into that supermoon energy as well, because you can also start those rituals now. You can start setting those intentions. You can start, because remember, this is the last full moon before we move into 2026. We've got a new moon coming up towards, actually, do we have another one? But the main one is the one on the 4th, because that is, as the super moon in Gemini. So that will have so much of an impact. So there are different, obviously, techniques and rituals that people can do, but mainly it's around saying what you want to release and what you want to bring in, to then move forward, and then see what happens in the first few weeks of December, because then come the 21st, when you've got the solstice there as well. Again, that I would bring in sort of fire. So whether it be a candle or a fire outside, because then all of those things that you want to leave in 25 that you do not want to bring forward, write it, put it in there, put your intention, burn it, let it go. Because again, it's all around working in our own toroidal field, working in our own quantum fields. What are you getting rid of, and use what Gaia and the stars are showing you in order to help you.
Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. So ASRIA, should we talk about what we can expect since what is it? Is it tomorrow? Yeah, tomorrow is December 1st. Do you want to talk about what we can expect for December to get people ready? We're doing the energetic update. So hold on to your hats, folks, and I'm going to let ASRIA take it away.
Yeah, I really think that in December, I mean, there's a number of planetary alignments coming up. So I really do feel, as I was saying a little bit earlier, that there will be an element of sadness and grieving, because as this consciousness moves and as it heightens, there'll be the loss of identity. Because trust me, as we move, I'm getting shakes. And you know, when I'm getting shakes, they're always talking. So here we go. So as that loss of identity, and it's not necessarily the case of, oh, well, I used to like football, now I like rugby, or anything like that. It's very much a case of, this is me. This is who I am. I've kind of, as I said, ridden those waves. I've been that sailor. I'm ready to go into 26 with more power, more vigor, more clarity, because it will bring a lot of clarity over the next few months as well. Because with that clearing, as soon as things clear, you can see a lot clearer. You can see the end of the tunnel. Also, what it will bring is, as I said, with this consciousness that is heightening, you may also find, and I welcome you guys to do this, because I know I done it. It happened to me the other day, is that, you know, you get the Facebook memories, which sometimes are a really, really lovely thing, and sometimes they're really not very welcome. But I had a really lovely one the other day, and it was a time I'd gone to Glastonbury for their Frost Festival. Wonderful weekend, really wonderful, with my mom. And I looked at that picture of me and her, and then I looked at me now, and I was like, that's a different person. Physically, I mean, it hasn't changed too much. But again, I welcome you to, as we've changed and as we're heightening, not only does our energies change, but our physicality will have an impact as well. And some people's egos might be going, oh, but I haven't lost weight and I haven't done this, and no. because what you project from the inside out, it's like being the truer you. And I know we've spoken about this in previous shows, and I would like to just bring it up again for a second. That authenticity, that authentic you. And when more of that starts kind of coming out, you will notice not only changes within your physical body, but changes in your in your quantum field, but also changes in your physicality as well. Because I never thought that too much until that Facebook memory come up, and I was like, ooh. I was like, okay, that's fine. I mean, I don't think I had pink hair back then, but it was a little bit more than that. So again, I welcome you to not only have within this time of sadness and grieving that you may experience, again, not fear-mongering here, and I'm not telling you this is what you will feel, but it is likely around this supermoon in Gemini. And again, just because we got the supermoon on the 4th doesn't mean, okay, 4th, 5th, 6th, after the 6th, I'm good. Utilize it. And again, because we are going past this 6-year cycle, 9-year cycle, I beg your pardon. Maybe it's a 6-year one for me, who knows? But 9-year, see that as a good starting point. Because if we look at 2026, even in numerology, that's a 1. 2 plus 2 plus 6, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 is a 1. New beginnings.
Mm-hmm.
Even the made-up calendar is telling us.
Yeah.
So I think that we are going to have more comets. We are going to have more information coming through from 3i Atlas. We are going to have so much disruption from an electronic point of view, even as far as the finance stuff as well. And I think there is going to be more shake-ups, and I'm not going too much into the political here, but there is going to be shake-up there because, again, they're getting rid of a lot of the rubbish as well. That might take a little bit longer.
Yeah. Do you see more earthquakes, volcanoes?
Yeah.
Yeah, because Mother Gaia, she's moving and grooving, and she's ascending and changing. And when that happens, it's going to happen. It is what it is. It makes sense, right?
Oh, 100%. And if we look at the one in, I know it's Africa, but like Indonesia, it's very much.
Yeah.
If we're looking at the earth as a body, it is the womb. It is kind of where, in a lot of historical places, and even if we look at it from a starseed perspective, the first seeders, etc., is around kind of like that African continent, is very much the womb of the world.
Yes.
And if that's just exploded, again, 9 foot up into the air.
I know.
To me, that's a really good sign. And just before the 1st, and around, I think it was Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So that is kind of saying, you know what? There we go. It's kind of like, at the start of a race, and they set the pistol off, don't they? The gun off at the start of a race. That's how I saw it.
Here we go.
Here we go.
And I remember you saying on the phone earlier that volcano has not erupted in something like 36 million years or something like that.
Yeah. I thought I just jotted it down here, but yeah, absolutely. It's like hasn't done anything, hasn't moved. Yeah, even like I think before records began or something like that. And also, I read somewhere that there's also various different planetary positionings that they haven't seen. And I can't quote exactly who I heard it from, so my apologies. But again, there's certain positionings of planets that we haven't seen or been recorded in like hundreds and thousands of years. So again, it's kind of like, you know what, we are moving into this consciousness and we haven't been to this place before, and the earth and the stars are telling us that too.
Yes.
And so us as like newbies on the block, humans that have been here, I don't know, 40, 50, 60 years individually, your individual ages, you know, it's new to us too. So yeah, give yourself a bit of a break, because there's not another planet in the star systems that has gone through this level of awakening, of ascension for a very, very long time. And that is one of the reasons we are being watched like a hawk by all of our star families and beings, because they're going, what is happening on that planet? Because what is happening on ours will then have an impact on the rest of the star systems, on the rest of the other planets where our amazing sort of Lyrans and Palladians and Andromedans and such.
Yeah.
Because then where does the souls that have awakened either stay here or go on other planets? And again, that's a whole other can of worms I can go down. But just give yourself a second and go, you know what, I'm on this planet in the best possible time. I know it doesn't feel like it sometimes because of governments and money and Christ knows whatever else, but taking the time to go within, taking the time to go, what is happening for me, quieting that down a bit. And I'm not saying you have to go into meditation and go into that kind of like dismissing everything else, because some of us find that really hard, but just that second to focus in, because that's where it will happen. And one of the reasons it's also happening now is because a lot of us are more aware. So you know what? The more of us that are, that energy is also going up. Thank you.
Yeah. So, exactly. So, in December, which is tomorrow, believe it or not, that's just crazy.
It's crazy.
There's going to be a lot of intense energies, like a summing up. Everything's going to come to a head, like this culmination, this boiling point, if you will, before the new year, January 2026. So it's going to get real. And even though you've done your work, we are being affected by Gaia. So the best way to handle the energies of what's going to happen in December is you're tired, if you don't feel well, rest. Like I did last night. I was tired. I didn't feel well. I didn't have the energy. I wasn't into the political bullshit. Like I said, I did a video this week. I'm just fucking done. I'm fucking over it all right now. Because it's not for us. We're watching a narrative. We know what's happening. And I'm on Ascensionville. The geopolitical bullshit is for the sleepers. It's for the normies, not us. So I just wasn't into it last night. So honor yourself. If you don't have the energy, if you're tired, don't just do things because they're expected of you or because you're obligated. You have to honor yourself. Rest. Don't put so much pressure on yourself. Give yourself a break. As I always say, we're going from carbon-based to crystalline. We're ascending. We're collapsing timelines. We're breaking hundreds of years of generational curses, maybe even thousands of years of generational curses from our DNA. We're collapsing timelines and, collapsing timelines from our past lives. We're doing so much. So instead of focusing on the bullshit and what we can't control and what we don't have in our lives, we should be congratulating ourselves and patting ourselves in the back. Look at how far we've come, right?
Yeah. Absolutely. And I think that's fantastic, because the other thing we were saying earlier that came through from the guides as well is sending that gratitude and love back to our past, to where we've come from. Because as I said, some of us have gone through absolute hell this year. And again, it's not a competition. But I think in order to help us go forward, it's sending that love and gratitude back to say, you know what, I went through that. I got through that. Yeah, I might have a little bit of help, but I'm sending love and gratitude to who I had the help from as well.
Yeah.
Because that will push forward, because the gratitude, love, and joy energy is where we're going. So if you can fill that train behind you with the same energy and not just tell it that's what you're doing, not just say, oh yeah, gratitude for that lot. Doesn't work that way. It's you feel it.
Yes. Yes. And that reminds me, and this is another thing that we were talking about earlier on the phone. Remember earlier when I was saying I was feeling so thankful the day before Thanksgiving, I was thanking and feeling gratitude, and I was thanking God and thanking Yeshua, thanking my angels and my guides, thanking the universe. And then it was like that very night, or like the next day, I felt like shit. And it's like, I said to Azria, why was it when I was expressing gratitude and thankfulness and being thankful, it was like the shit hit the fan? And that's, as you said, that's when you came up and your guides told you that what I was feeling was not mine, because it didn't match the energies. It was the collective feelings I was feeling rather than my own. What say you, Azria, on that? So what would you say to somebody that said, one of your clients that said, Azria, I was grateful. I've been showing abundance. I've been doing my affirmations. I've been thankful and, focusing on the positive. And it seems like the shit, it's hitting the fan. Why is the shit hitting the fan? What say you?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think there's two elements to this as well, because I've got another thing coming through. But first of all is around, as you said, check, is this mine? Check in. Is this mine? Is this the collective? Whatever way your intuition tells you your yes and your no's, however you get those answers, whether it's a sign, whether it's your body moving back or forward, whether you use a pendulum, whatever that might be. And then you can say, okay, if it's not mine, I release it. The second thing is sometimes when you do that as well, it can be linked to your nervous system, is what I'm getting. So sometimes you may then just want to breathe it out, because in here might be feeling okay, round here might be feeling okay, but this meat suit is kind of going, still not sure. And that's the reaction, because there might have been something, not necessarily yourself, Dee, but just as I said, if I was being told this and this is what I'm getting through, is one of the things is that when we, for an example, say that we're feeling safe, where actually our nervous system is going, no, you're not. So it might be the case of calming that nervous system down as well, because your nervous system is linked to your subconscious and your conscious mind. So it's just calming all of that down. And you can do that purely by breath work. Breathe in for 4, hold for 8, and breathe out for 4. Again, it's telling that to shut the fuck up.
The ego, shut up, ego.
Yeah, because sometimes when we get into that nice relaxed state, and like over Thanksgiving, ate a lot of food, kind of had nice naps, maybe had a few laughs with friends and family. And again, as we move more into more of a festive period, whether people celebrate Christmas or not, but there's still that kind of social element there. You may find that you're getting into that more joyous state, and then as soon as you sit down, wham, it's going to go, I haven't felt that kind of like nice joy and relaxed in quite a long time. So your nervous system is going, woo, there you go. I can now respond.
Yep.
So, so one part is, and then the third one is the clearing. Again, it's you've relaxed. So therefore, you know what, you actually do have that energy. You do have that power to do the rest of the clearing. So there's 3 elements to this. So check in, is this mine? Second of all, double check on the nervous system, level that down. And third of all, if it's a clearing, do whatever it is you do to finish the clearing. Whether you work with your guides, whether you do rituals using mugwort or whatever the case may be. But yes, as I said, my website and that is always at the bottom if you wanted to touch base on any of these points or go into more detail, but hopefully those three will help, because 9 times out of 10 it's one of those.
Yes.
I don't know how you feel about that, Dee.
No, I absolutely agree. And, this time of year, and this is another thing we were speaking about earlier, is that the holidays is a tough time. It's always a tough time. It's never a happy time for me, because during the holidays, and it starts around Thanksgiving, is that the holidays shine a light upon your life. And it's a big spotlight. And with the big spotlight, you see all the dirt. You see it every tiny crevice, every little hole, every little corner, every little nook and cranny. And you see all the dirt, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And you focus on what's not right about your life. And sometimes when you see the spotlight on your life, it's good to see the good things, but there's also the not so pleasant things. And no matter how much spiritual work we do, we are human. And when our lives are not the way we wanted, and people have let us down, and we're sad and we're alone, we have needs. And when our needs are not met and not fulfilled, and we're not happy, we're going to feel a certain way. So it's okay to feel the way you feel. If you feel sad, if you feel angry, feel it. Don't beat yourself up for feeling any way you feel. Don't judge yourself. Don't let these toxic positivity assholes make you feel bad because you're not whistling Dixie out of your asshole if you're alone on Thanksgiving, or if you're broke and you can't afford Christmas presents. Those people are psychotic. Don't listen to them, okay? They don't want to deal with they're too afraid. They're ballists. They're the wimps that don't want to, they're too afraid to have the spotlight shining on them, and they don't want to look at the big, the deep, the bad and the ugly. So they make you feel bad about yourself because you're not smiling all the time. So don't judge yourself. Don't let those toxic positive people make you feel bad because you're not happy at the most wonderful time of the year. Not so much, okay? So feel any way you feel, and don't let anyone make you feel less than if you don't feel good, because it doesn't matter how strong you are when you're alone and broke, and you see families getting ready for Christmas and people putting up decoration and trees, and they've got their husbands, their kids, their families. They're going to Costa Rica for Christmas, and you're saying, I can barely afford my rent. What the fuck? You're allowed to feel that way. Don't beat yourself up. What say you, Azria?
I think that there is going to be a lot of people like that, and I agree with that sentiment, because it is that whole thing of do not judge a book by its cover, because you can get some of the people who look as though they've got it all, they have it all, they're always whistling Dixie out of their ass, but they go home and cry into their pillow. They may do. So again, it's a little bit of the ego coming in going, oh, I want what they want. But actually, what is it that's really saying? It could be the lovely family, but actually, let's make it the wife this time. The wife's been having an affair for 2 years, and they're going to get divorced in January. They just haven't told the kids yet.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you never know what somebody else is experiencing. On the outside, it could look a beautiful book with glitter and, well, that's just my kind of notebook, glitter and feathers. Yeah, again, that's my notebook. But actually on the inside, yeah, my writing is as bad as anything. So yeah, you might want to look at the outside, but you don't want to read the writing.
That's true. You don't see
so that's when you go back in here.
Yep.
That's when you go back.
No one's life is like a Hallmark Christmas movie. That's for sure. Don't expect it, because those are actors and that's a script. And like you said, the wife could be having an affair and they could be getting divorced in right after the holidays in January. And also, you don't see the mounds of debt. You don't see that he just lost his job. Right?
This is it. You never judge a book by its cover. I mean, you could see some people have said that they're whistling. I'm going to keep on using that now. I love that, whistling Dixie out their arse. But actually, yeah, they go home and they're alone. You get some people maybe even on YouTube that are going, you know what, I'm really, really happy. But actually, you turn that camera off and their life's very different.
Yeah, like me. Trust me, people think I have such a great life because I'm on camera. It's like if you spent a day with me and saw my life, you wouldn't think.
But they might say they want to
different.
be you because you're amazing. But as you said, actually, I've gone through so much in order to get to that point, in order to shine how we shine. And but yeah, it's not always on the outside.
That's right. It's what is it? The grass is always greener. That's that saying. Yep. Well, as
how are you feeling here?
Exactly. It is. And on the whole, I think that we need to keep and this is what we need to focus on, is to focus on how we've evolved, how we've changed, how far we've come, how we've grown, instead of comparing ourselves to others or comparing ourselves to the Joneses, because we are not in other people's shoes. We are not living other people's lives. And it doesn't matter if we're keeping up with the Joneses, or it doesn't matter. It's all about your personal journey, how far you've come, how far we've come. And I know that we are doing, like, we're all of us, people that watch my channel and yours, we are progressing in leaps and bounds, and we're doing so much work on ourselves that we could do years of therapy in a day or two. So it's all about the energy. It's all about you and your personal thoughts and your journey. What say you, Azria? Do you think it's all about people's personal journey and not focusing on others? Absolutely, Azria. What do you think? Are you there? I think we got frozen. Oh, we lost her. Well, we lost Azria. I don't know what happened. First I thought she was reading something. I don't know what happened. She'll probably come back in. I'm going to see if she comes back in. If not, I'll just end this show because it's been an hour anyway. But folks, it's tomorrow's December 1st. It's going to get crazy. It's going to be a bumpy ride, but we're going to get there. Okay? It's 5 more weeks, a little over a month until January 1st. A lot of things have to happen by the end of the year for us to start the golden age in 2026. So, according to the energetic upgrades and according to God and Yahshua, focus on yourself, do your work. Don't compare yourself to others. Give yourself a break. If you need to rest, if you need to limit your time away from people, do so. There she is. I said, I'm going to keep on going. We're almost over, but I said, what happened? Did you go to this 5th and 6th dimension and come back?
Oh, I wish. But clearly, no, my internet just completely dropped out. So I think we're saying a lot of the right things.
Oh, yeah. The powers that be. The powers that be don't want us talking.
No, thank you. Sorry about that.
It's all good. So, Azria, I was just pretty much summing up and telling people, take it easy on yourself. And just like, what last words would you say to people before we end the show?
Oh, sorry. I was just thrown by that. I think the last message from me is that be aware of what's around you. Be aware of what's happening in the world as much as what's happening with you. And as I think I heard Dee say there as well, be kind to you. Because this season is going to be a bit tricky. This last month is going to be a bit rocky. But just give yourself the love and compassion. and that gratitude, and can't wait for next Sunday. So sending love to everyone.
I second that emotion. Do what's best for you. It's going to be a bumpy ride. Just know that no matter what it looks like, everything is working out for us. Everything is happening, not for us. It's to wake up. I hate to say the normies, the sleepers, but it's for them to wake up, the sleepers. So don't get too, as you say in the UK, don't get your knickers in a bunch over the geopolitical bullshit.
Don't get your knickers in a twist, love. You really don't want to. It's quite uncomfy.
Yeah, don't get your knickers in a twist. All right? Or don't get your undies in a bunch. They say here in the US. Yeah, it's not for us. No matter what happens, the light wins, God wins, good wins. Good always wins over evil. And we're coming up to the end of the year, and a lot of things are going to happen. And we're still waiting for a lot of things to happen. The money. So just know that everything is divine timing. Give yourself a break. Focus on how far you've come, and as long, I think my last thing is with this Thanksgiving weekend here in the US is that you were think about, I know you're thankful for everything you've been through, and thankful for the people that are in your life, but be thankful for how far you've come. Be thankful for how you've grown, how you have evolved. You're definitely not the same person you were last week, last month, or even last year. So be thankful and show that gratitude to yourself, especially your higher self. And even if it gets a little bumpy, and if you get a little depressed and your ego, as you know, our ego and higher self are having this tug of war going back and forth, be thankful for your ego, because your ego is doing its job and your higher self is doing its job. And if you find yourself getting a little emotionally rocky or having a little bit of an emotional roller coaster moment, just know it's not necessarily you or you're doing anything wrong. It could be that you're just using or just absorbing the collective energy, and you're feeling the collective, and do what ASRIA said earlier to decipher whether it's your energy or someone else's. Yep. All right, folks, if you need to get in touch with ASRIA or myself, all our info is underneath in the description of the show. We will be lurking later on when I do this, exactly. So I'm going to put this live on my channel, and then we'll give it to ASRIA, and she puts it on her channel. So until next Sunday, we're sending you so much love and strength. Bye, everybody. Thank you. Love you. God bless.
Bye-bye.